Hey gamers, this is Joe from What I'm Playing Now, and we are back with part 2 of our 7th Continent playthrough. Like I said last week when I started this, I wanted to do this for a couple of weeks. I didn't get to do a midweek stream, but hopefully I can do one this week and we can get a couple more plays in. Let me just come over here and actually go live on Facebook. I actually got Facebook working today, so we should be kind of out to everywhere today. I gotta go over to my client for my chat and actually reconnect that, and we are connected there as well. Hey, everyone is working today. All right, everybody. This is Joe from What I'm Playing Now. We are doing a playthrough of the 7th Continent. I had played through this game a little before. I had wanted to revisit this because I actually never finished any of the curses, and with some of the updates that we've been getting from Serious Pulp, I know that they are printing the rest of the expansions right now, so before those were actually shipped and we received them, I wanted to see if I could actually maybe finish a couple of the curses. So I figured let's start a weekly episode where we're actually doing some playthroughs. Last week we had a really good first playthrough. I could do a quick recap for any of those that might have missed it. You can catch it on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/whatimplayingnow, and you can see that there. So last week what we did was we started and we explored the first part of the Voracious Goddess Curse, and we actually found a raft, and we were able to sail off the island and come to card 125, which is pretty much where I stopped. I think we played for about 2 hours last week, and everything was going good. Let me pull up my satchel real quick. In our satchel, we had a couple of experience points. We have 2 metal gear wheels, and we had also found the red seaweed. So any of the actual island parts that we see kind of like that red, kind of like coloring on, we can actually use as seaweed, and I believe that gives us the vine sort of resource, which will cut down on our resource costs when we're actually trying to craft some of the things. My 2 resources, or my 2 items, I guess, that I do have right now are the... Oh, thank you, Kimmy. Let me know that the sound is great. The two items that I do have in my inventory currently is I have 4 uses left on my shovel. I have 3 left on my raft. Let's jump over to the actual overhead shot of the board. And you can see we have card 125 here. I'm going to take a quick look at this. I'm going to read the back real quick, take a quick glance at the card. I don't know if I've ever been here on any of my previous playthroughs, so I want to make sure that we're not missing anything here. It says when we landed here on our raft that this islet is narrow and uncomfortable. Apart from a few patches of red seaweed, the only type of plant in this sandy soil is short, sickly weed. So I'm going to take a quick glance at this, and I didn't do this with all of my other cards just to see if there's any numbers here, to see if we get to pull out another card. I don't see anything like that. So we're going to plop this down in the middle. I'm going to start a new page in my cartographer's notebook here in my journal. We're going to basically flip this page over, and I'm going to write part 2 on the top. And I'm going to do my writing a little bit different. I don't think I was giving myself enough detail than the last time. I wrote down a few things, but I don't think I wrote down as much as I really wanted to. So this is card 125, and we have this on D4. So D4 is over here. We got card 125. We have some red seaweed here. And I'm writing some notes down in the journal that I have here, just in case if we actually don't finish this curse, which I'm really possibly not expecting to on our first try through. I played this once or twice before and did not get that far. But I'm expecting, since it's been a good several months since I had actually played the game, it's going to take me a couple times to go through this. So I'm trying to take some good notes, so when we do another playthrough, we can maybe just get to some of the good points nice and fast, and maybe try to move along before we get through our action deck here, which is our life force, as we all know. I'm going to put H.P. Lovecraft, which is the character I'm playing, on this card. We do need a couple of other cards here before we continue. And let me make sure I'm grabbing the right ones. I have 2 number 1 cards here. They're going to go on either side. So it looks like we have a stone resource here. We do have the red seaweed, as we said, because that was one of the things we did find, red seaweed card. So we're good there. The cards I have in my hand, I have a couple of cards from H.P. Lovecraft himself. I have the Dark Side and Dark Whispers. And then I have Learn by Doing, which will let me actually lower the cost of an action by 3. And then I have another card, Valiant Heart Shall Not Fail. You may discard this during the result step of an action you are involved in order to apply the effect of 2 stars and take a 101 card. So that will actually be kind of cool. So last week was really one of the first times. I'm going to turn up the volume on my speaker here because I kind of have the soundtrack going. Let me know if that's a little too overpowering. If for those of you who are listening, it seems like it's all right. I'm not too sure how much the mic is actually picking up on that background sound, but there was a really cool app that was put out on Android. I don't know if it's on iOS or not, that kind of has some background music and sound that they put out. So I usually like putting my Bluetooth speaker kind of like in the background and letting that play while we're going through this. So I think we're kind of all set to actually get started and see really what our first actions here are really going to be. I'm going to take another, since I actually looked at this card up close, I want to see what my actual options are here. It looks like we actually have to do, we have a red action here, which I believe we need to take probably immediately, because I kind of stopped when we actually hit this part of, oh, thanks, Aaron. Appreciate it. So I think we actually have to do this action immediately. And that action is, and I'm trying to actually see what this icon actually is. This is a go see or investigate. It actually doesn't cost anything, so we're going to succeed at this right away. And then card 47 is going to come out. An action that all characters involved and only have them must take. All right, so we really don't have to flip anything over for that. So I guess we're going to have to do that action right now since that is red, and we're going to have to see what card 47 is. Like I said, I don't think I've been to this part of Not Overpowering. Sounds like the massage part. That's great, Kimmy. That's great. All right. There's a colony of shellfish that are buried in the sand and do not seem to like being disturbed. It is not that their defense system is dangerous, but it is certainly irritating. Every time a character takes an action on the terrain card this is attached to, its required number of successes is increased by 1, unless they have a card with the keyword stealth in their inventory. I do have a card with the keyword stealth in there. I do have the Dark Side from... Oh, and I need to switch back to my other program here so I can actually see where I am showing this card. So I do have a card with the keyword stealth in there. So we actually don't have to worry about this card, luckily, because H.P. Lovecraft has some pretty nice skills and powers with him. So this card will actually get attached down here because it's kind of pointing up there. So, but we don't have to worry about it because we do have that card. But we did flip that over. It was a no skill cost. We didn't need any stars. I do have 5 cards in my hand, so I really didn't want to draw one. So that's why we just did the 0 cost. But let's see what else we can do here. We do have the action for... And I got to look some of these up because I'm still trying to remember all these. Spot or observe. There's 30-some actions here, and remembering them is flipping impossible. So we're going to spot or observe. This one's actually going to cost us an actual card. So let's go ahead and flip that over and see if we're going to replace anything in our hand. We didn't need any stars, like I said. For this one in particular, it was just a cost of a card. This one is Knowledge is Power. If I actually do like a thinking challenge, I can actually get, I believe, probably another experience card. I don't really think that this is going to override or beat any cards I currently have in my hand. So we're going to go ahead and discard that. So that was successful. So that is going to be the 46 card, which is up top here. Let's go ahead and grab that real quick in our box. And I tried to zoom the camera in a little bit closer. I tried to take it in as tight as I could. I didn't want to cut off the top and bottom of the board, but I wanted to at least show as much of the cards as I could. So I tried to maybe play around with the zoom this week a little bit. All right, for this card, what do we have here? Considering the long distance in the cold water, swimming away would be neither reasonable nor safe. It looks like this is a swimming action. Leaving the archipelago, you can choose which direction to take. This is going to be their 2+ cards, but I would need 7 stars. Now, the raft does give me 2 cards, as well as a +5 to the blue flag. I had mentioned some of the blue flags last week. So the raft has a blue flag on there, which matches this card with a +5. So instead of taking the actual card 189, I'd actually take card 194. And it looks like this card is going to go right up on top here. So it looks like north and south, there really isn't much for me to do, as these are just standing cards that are pretty much going to remain there during play. But we do have a couple of cards over here that we can explore on, and I really don't see too much that we can do on this little card itself besides move off of it. So I guess let's start off over here and see what we get over here, and then once we resolve this card and figure it out, we will go to card 88. So we're going to flip that over. Spider Bite. Oh crap, this could be bad. This might cost a couple of cards. Your calf is itching uncontrollably. Examining it, you notice a nasty red spot. You must have been bitten by a spider, and you can only hope it has not laid its eggs under your skin. Well, that's kind of graphic. Okay. Only the active player is forced to take the following action. I need to do a heal action. It is 0+ cards, but I do need 2 stars. I do have the Valiant Heart Shall Not Fail. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe draw 2 cards, because I really don't have anything else that's going to assist me in the heal action in my inventory with either my items or the cards that I have. Yeah, I really don't have anything that's going to kind of help me with that. That kind of sucks. So we're going to have to draw 2 cards for this to actually see if we can get past this, because it looks like the little wound seems to heal nicely. If I pass it, if I fail, eggs are under your skin. Certainly not possible. Banish this. It doesn't seem like you actually... Let me pull out the tablet real quick, and let me just verify this, that there's not an errata on this card. Because I'm surprised that failing doesn't actually make you take... I got the tablet here with the errata list opened up. I'm surprised it doesn't actually make you take some sort of damage card on that one. So this is card... Which card is this? Base box, action, character save, clue. I don't think that's what I want. That's the card list. I want the errata. All right, let's see if I see anything here real quick. If I don't, we're just going to try to pass it. Yeah, I don't see anything off the top of my head real quick, so we're just going to close that. I don't want to waste too much time looking for that. I was trying to just see if I could figure that out over the real quick. So we're going to draw 2 cards like I was going to, because we're going to try to pass this. Flip it over. There's 1 star. There's 2 stars, so we got 2 stars plus. We did draw a woven basket, which basically would let me have more items. Not too sure I need that right now. And think. Randomly take up to 7 cards from the action deck. You may add 1 card to your hand and must shuffle the other ones. I don't think we need that. We're going to basically just discard both of those to the discard pile. We went ahead and passed this, so this card is going to get banished. I think I've only banished 1 other card when I played last week, and that was card 31. That was the one creature that had actually attacked me that we had found last week, but we were able to beat. Since we went through that card, we need card 88 out of the box. Let's grab card 88 and see what this one says. There are about 300 yards between the continent and a small islet. It looks like we might be able to do another sail action here. I'm going to check this card. I don't see any numbers on here. So this is another sailing one. The sea looks serene and calm. A sandbar should enable you to wade a fair distance quite safely, but it be wise for a craft to avoid it. So this is another sale action, and this would put us to card 125, or actually 130. So we have a few different places we can actually sail to. Places I've actually never been on the 7th continent in playing this. So I'm really see where we're going to end up tonight and where the game's going to take us. I did get to ignore that card since I do have the stealth card. I think before we do any sailing, let's flip over this card and bring out card 56. So we have to interact with this card first. Weaverfish. Oh, lovely. A weaverfish is hiding in the muck, and you just happen to see it at the very last second. Beware of stepping on its sharp, poisonous dorsal spine. I think we actually ran into that last week. So we need to do a spot or observe action, and we need at least 1 star. I'm just going to draw 1 card, because if I do fail this, I will use our Valiant Hearts card, because I don't really want to use up. We're about halfway through, I think, our deck. And considering we now have 2 places to possibly take our raft to, I really don't want to go through our deck any faster. So far, I haven't seen any food on this little islet that we're on, so I have a feeling the next thing we may be doing here is getting the hell off of this thing, but it would be nice if they would give us a little food here. I only got half a star there. It is a torch. So we're going to have to, during the result step, we're going to have to discard our Valiant Heart Shall Not Fail and take a 101 card to actually pass that, because I really don't want to take any damage. So let's find the first 101. You are feeling increasingly drowsy and are struggling to stay awake. You cannot wait to find a comfortable place to rest. I am tired. So I would have to do a rest action, I believe is what the icon is. Yep, it's a rest action to get 2 stars to actually return this. There's no blue symbol on this, so we actually don't need to worry about discarding anything else. So that is a good thing. But we now have a torch that we can use to possibly start some fire, which would be kind of nice. So we're actually going to keep that card, since we are now down to 4 cards, and we'll go back up to 5. Let me move the fire over there. So there's my 5 cards. Let's move the Voracious Goddess. So I'm trying to figure out where we're at actually on our map, because we have 2 separate places to actually kind of go. It's so hard to really tell on this map where the hell you are, because I really haven't figured out much. Because I don't know if you start off down at the bottom at the southern end here or not. Because there are some mountains there that look like you. And I wonder if we just swam over to this island. So I wonder if we need to go north, which would kind of be this card, rather than go off to the side here. Let's set that over there and we'll have to think. So we need card. We just passed this. By sheer miracle, you avoid getting stung. So we go ahead and this goes into... Oh, I didn't pull out the past. Where's my past card here? That's save. There's the past. This card goes into the past, since we are done with that, because it doesn't say to get rid of it. But we need card 56 next. So card 56. All right. Rocks peek out from the surface of the water, and if you are careful enough, you should be able to get across them without getting wet. Huh, okay. So this card is going to go... That does not... Card 56. Card 56. Okay, that's right, because that was card 125 that we had in the middle there. All right. And we need another 1 card from here to put here. So it looks like on this actual card, this is the first time I think I've actually seen this symbol. So you have like a circle cross on the bottom of this card that we just drew. And what that is players may not take the following actions. I may not do fire, I may not craft, and I may not rest on that particular tile, because it looks like we're basically just going to be skipping rocks over to this other one. Now, if we do want to move over there, it is going to be a movement cost, and it's going to cost us 2 cards to do so. Because we don't have any walking stick or anything to actually lower the movement cost as of right now. And then it looks like if we want to move off of this card, it is 3 movement, probably because it is so tricky to go off of. But this is card 149. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So I hate to say we may have to do that, because there's really nothing else to explore on this particular card. I do want to make some notes here because I really haven't been drawing down on my cartographer's one. So to the north, we have card 46. And you can sail north. In 3D, we have card 88. And this is another you can sail card. And it would be to, with blue flag, to 125, and then +5. South, there is, I think, what was this one? This was 47. And this is where we had shellfish, which was -1 to skill checks. Sail north, and then over here is 56. So we're going to make a little line here and go card 56 was this direction, and it was just a movement spot. Just so we know for the next time we're playing. Thanks, Kimmy, for letting me know that everything still sounds good. All right, so I think we're going to spend the 2 movement from this card to move over here. I really, really don't want to. Well, we got a curse, no big deal. And what is this? A fire making kit. We have a torch. I think I'm going to keep the torch over the fire making kit and just discard both of those cards. We are now going to explore this card, which doesn't cost us anything. And we are going to flip this over. And, oh, this is a life jacket. And this is actually an item that we actually just get to take. This does not need to be crafted. And it has 4 uses to it. I will say, nice to that. That is awesome. I don't know if I've had a life jacket before. You have laid your hands on a life jacket. It's in poor condition. It has 4 uses. But it actually lets me do the rest action for -1, and it gives me a star if I were to do that. So I could actually do get rid of my tired ability here, or my negative ability, if I wanted to, but I can't rest on this actual card. So since we actually just found the life jacket here, we're going to pull card 149 to actually see what we got here. That's going to be right before our 150. The ruins of what must have been at one time a tower remain above the waterline, where it must have stood before being swallowed by the ocean. Oh, we have a couple of different things to explore on this one. All right. I'm just looking at this card real quick. Let's take a quick glance at it with our magnifying glass. Look for any sort of numbers. So on this actual card, we actually have 2 resources. That is one of the first times I think I've actually seen 2 resources on one card. You don't see that too often in the game. I've heard them mention it before, but I have not seen it too often. So now that we know there's a kind of like a tower here, let's take another look at our map here from the Voracious Goddess and actually see if we see maybe something of a broken tower, and if we can maybe kind of figure out where we're at on this damn map. Man, I really don't see a damn tower on this thing. I mean, I see something that looks like some squares, but I mean, that kind of does not really match what I'm seeing here. And these numbers, FT16, I'm gonna have to try to figure out some of these riddles that are on this damn card, because they are definitely have me puzzled. All right, we do need another number 1 card before we take a drink. Let's put that out here. We did just get card 149, so I need to mark another 149 over here. And it's going to cost us 3 cards to actually move over to that one because of this little rocky piece that I'm walking across here, which I'm not really too thrilled with. I do have the Learn by Doing card, which would save, which I can -3. But I really hate to do that for this movement, but that movement is really costing me a lot. Now, when I do move back, if I do move back to one of these cards to possibly sail off this place, remember that you can do movement if you have a straight shot and you don't have to take an action. You can move as many different tiles as you want. So moving back through it will be nice, but moving off of it right now is just extremely costly. I think I'm going to spend the 3 Learn by Doing just to save my deck. Because like I said, we're more than halfway through this deck right now, and I don't want to end the game this early in my second stream and have to restart. So we're going to go ahead and spend that, and we're going to go ahead and do a movement and move over here. Now when we land here, one of the first things it looks like we can do is actually take, I think it's the, what is the map icon? I wish they had these in a little bit different type of order. It's a Go See or Investigate icon. I think we're going to take that action right now. That will cost me 1 card. We don't need any stars though. Hey Adam, or Johnny, I don't know which one it is. Think, randomly take up to 7 cards. So we pulled this one earlier, and you can add 1 card to your hand and then shuffle the rest. I'm going to go ahead and keep this card right now since I do only have 4 cards in my hand. So we passed that since we didn't need any stars, and we get card 268 now. So what is card 268? That's over here in our next column of cards. 267. 268. You notice an opening on one side of the tower. A good portion of the building is below the surface. If you want to explore it, you may need to hold your breath for a long time. Oh, this one actually has a swimming icon. We only get to draw 1 card. I mean, but we do have the life jacket, which lets us -1 and gives us a star, which would let us pass this immediately. It does have a purple flag. I don't have the flag that matches this. So this is the card we just drew. This is 268. And as you can see, we will get to draw card 480. I don't have that actual symbol there, which looks like a little spider, to actually add to it. I don't think I have anything with that because the card that's on the Voracious Goddess is different. Let me take a quick look through my cards and make sure I am not missing anything. Metal Gear, those are different. Those are blue. There is nothing on that particular card. Yeah, I don't think I have anything with that icon on there, which kind of bums me out. So I think we might swim for it because I kind of really want to see what it does. I've never actually been there before. We're gonna swim for this, and we're actually gonna use our life jacket. So for my next action, we're gonna go ahead and lower our life jacket down by 1. That's gonna take it down to 3 uses. And to actually do the swim action, You have to draw. I have to draw the exact number of cards indicated by the action unless they choose to apply card effects from their hands and/or inventories. So I can't draw any more cards. I'm going to use the Life Jacket, which is -1 action card, so it takes it down to 0. My Life Jacket gives me a star, which I need, so we succeed. So we get to draw card 40. 37, 38, 39, and 40. All right, there's no text on this one, and usually there is a text on cards. You swim through the maze of flooded hallways and rooms is tiring and arduous, with your lungs burning for want of air. You hurry back and return to the surface, where you emerge panting desperately. One character may choose one card with the keyword stamina or will in the action deck and add it to their hand. Well, that was kind of disappointing. May choose. I'm not going to take any cards from the action deck. I don't want to lower that any lower. But I'm kind of bummed that you really don't get anywhere with that. That's very disappointing. I'm guessing if you have that purple icon, it takes you to a different card and maybe you get to find something. We're going to have to figure out how you get that damn purple icon and what that's on, because I don't have it. But this card right now is going to go into the past because there's really nothing else we're going to get to do with it. I have a hand of 5 cards, which is one of the reasons why I really didn't want to take another card to do anything there. So the only really other thing we can do here is move, and we can craft. I really don't have anything to craft. If I want to rest, I could probably rest right now, which would cost me a card to rest. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to interact with this card here and try to move over here to this other card. Oh, hey, our first green card that I think we've drawn, which is outstanding. So they have the blue skill cards, and then you have these green cards as well, which are usually very good to draw. Habits and customs. Thinking back on the last few days before you left the expedition, you remember your excitement at the prospect of all the discoveries you dreamed of making. If players have 3 or more cards with the keyword fetish, take a 420 card and banish this. Is that a joke? All right. Keywords fetish. I don't know if I have anything with the keyword fetish on it. Explorer, stamina, craft skill, clothing skill. That is that. Vigilance, serenity, aggressiveness, stealth, vigilance. Nope. This is a side quest. Since we don't have any fetish cards, which kind of bummed me out, this card's basically just going to get banished because we can't complete it. So we're just going to throw that back with that. I don't think you get to keep side quest cards. Let me double check that in the rulebook real quick. That's one of the first times I've run into a side quest card. And I remember reading about them when I was going through the rules. Let me just do a quick double check on that, because I don't think you get to keep them. I think that is, you're probably supposed to complete those kind of like right away. Terrain, permanent, temporary event, bonus. Bonus card, positive cards that players add to their hands after obtaining them along the adventure, such as companions, positive states, and side quests that players can complete. Oh, so maybe I do get to keep this. I get to add it to my hand. It's just a green card I get to add to my hand. Because I believe I do get to hold 4 green cards. So yeah, this card just does get added to my hand. I'm going to set this over here. I'm glad I looked that up. I would have discarded that, because maybe I can finish that at a later time. All right, card 241 is going to hit the table, and we're going over to the far east side, it looks like. Here is card 241. 2 rocky peaks occupy most of the islet surface. To the east, the ocean stretches endlessly. So we have a dig action, which is kind of cool because we do have a shovel. We have an observe. We actually have some bamboo on this part of the island. I'm going to double check this one for numbers. I see some footprints here. I see what appear to be all I really see are the footprints. Looks like a red bush up there, a red rock with red on it. I wonder if that's just seaweed. Yeah, I have never been to this part of the island in my previous playthroughs, so this part is definitely all new. So this card's going to go over here, and this was card, that was 149. This is 241. So we're going to put a /241 here. I'm running out of room on this little map. I'm gonna have to start over or get two of these pages next to each other as I'm trying to draw this out. So we have a couple options here. We need to pull out a card for up here. And then we're going to have to, I think, do a movement to actually move over here to take some of these actions that are on here. So it's going to cost us 2 to move over there. I don't really have anything to lower my movement right now, which is kind of stinks. Remember, 2 remember cards. Choose 1 card from the discard pile and add it to your hand. Discard this card. I don't think we're going to need to keep either of those, but I have a feeling that we're definitely not going to make it as far as we did last week when we were playing. So that was 2 cards for my movement. We're going to go ahead and move on there. So I think one of the first things we're going to do is take a dig action. And when we take the dig action, this dig action better get us something pretty damn big. Because it's actually taking 4 action cards to do so. I think the first thing we're going to do is do the observe action that's down there, our spot or observe. That's at the bottom of that card. It costs 0 adventure cards. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and that's going to draw out card 158. So we're going to do spot or observe first for card 158. All right, this card says, small animal tracks can be seen on the ground here. A nearby boulder is downwind from the tracks and provide you with decent cover from which to keep watch. So here we're going to be able to do a hunt action, and I think we had used up our bow last week, which kind of pisses me off. I mean, it would be nice to actually still have a bow. Because the more stars you get, it looks like the more food you're going to get, which we really need food right now. And I used up those 3 stars, which would have given me a whole bunch of food. We really have nothing. Yeah, I really have nothing that's going to allow me to do a hunt action very successfully. Damn. All right, let's dig and see what digging is going to get us real quick. So that card we're just going to leave down there. Digging is going to cost us 4 adventure cards. But we do have the shovel, so we're going to lower the durability of the shovel down from 4 to 3. We're going to get to decrease that action card pull by 2. So we're still going to have to pull 2. And I have no way to lower that. Damn. So we're going to have to just draw 2 cards. All right. But we did get bolas, which is kind of a stone type weapon that you can throw that has the hunt icon on there. So I think we're going to have to definitely keep these and discard probably the think card here. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to do that. And keep those. The pan pipes we don't need, those are going to go away. So we're going to have to craft. I'm going to put this card over here. There. We're going to have to craft these bolas before we do anything else. And what do we have on this card? We don't have stone. Stone and everything is on the previous card, of course. I don't know if there's seaweed on this card either. Well, there's some red there. I wonder if that red would be considered seaweed. For vines. I don't know. That looks a little different than some of the other cards. I mean, it looks like red, but it doesn't look like red seaweed normally does on some of the other cards that have seaweed on it. Rocky Peak occupy most of the islet surface to the east. Yeah, it really doesn't say. I'm trying to see if I would consider that seaweed. It kind of just looks like a big stone with red dots on it, which the seaweed normally really doesn't look like that. Yeah, that doesn't look anything like the seaweed here in the picture, because the picture actually shows it on stone, and that looks like a berry bush or something. So that is definitely not going to be seaweed. So we're not going to be able to take a bonus for that. So to craft these, it's going to cost us 2 skill cards, but it's definitely something we need to do. And I don't want to do movement to go back just to get a bonus, because that's going to chew through too many cards. So we're just going to have to utilize the 2 cards to craft this. It looks like it only has 1 use when we do this, which isn't the world's greatest. But hopefully this will get us a couple of cards to actually keep. So we needed no stars. So this goes ahead and gets crafted. And we're going to put 1 use on there. And we have Wild Imagination or Blowpipe to keep. I think we may keep the Blowpipe. This card gives me a 0/0/0 card, but I don't know what that does. And it would be nice to maybe have another weapon. So I think we're going to discard the Wild Imagination. And I think we're going to use them next to actually go after some of this food here and see how much food we can actually get. Now these bolas actually give us 5 right off the bat, which is going to give us 2 030 cards, which is very nice. So if we use these to actually do this right now, we're going to remove that because this card's going to be shot. We're going to need to draw 2. We already got the 3+ stars, but we do need to draw 2 cards. I wonder, you know what, before we do this, let's back up here. I got a card in my hand that I kind of want to use and see what it does. I have examined the notes. This lets me draw a card, and it's basically doing a decipher action. And it's take 2 050 cards, keep one and return the other one. I have to draw a card, and I need a star. So hopefully we get a star. We drew 3 stars. That was probably not what I really wanted to waste that on. But we're going to get to keep that. And we're going to discard this card. We're going to take 2 050 cards and keep one and return the other, and then I discard that. So we need 2 50s. We have Vampalina and Fragonia. It looks like these might be some sort of, the one looks like a vine resource, which is actually interesting. And the other one is a plant that actually looks like what's on this part of the island. So that's what that is. That is a Fregonia plant that is actually on there. This page torn from a botanist journal. Okay, this is Fregonia. So that card that I had drawn earlier, this is actually the exact plant that we drew that's on there. This page torn from a botanist journal reads, Fregonia produces edible red berries with the local fauna, which the local fauna seems to appreciate greatly. So this is when this plant can be seen on your terrain card, -1 to draw to draw your cards, and you get or a star when you do an attack. So that's perfect. So this is actually going to I think we're going to keep this one, because let's see what this Vampalina does. So here's the other card that I drew. These are going to go into our satchel. Well, one of these are. Vampalina looks like it's another plant. I've never actually seen something like this before, so that's kind of cool. This page, the Vampalina, this page torn from a botanist journal, reads, Vampalina sprouts small flowers that look like purplish roses. Its long main stem displays a surprising combination of strength and flexibility. When this plant can be seen on your terrain card, you have the vine resource. So we're going to go ahead and discard this. What did it say? Where do these go? And keep one and return the other. So the other one's going to go back into the box here, 50. We're going to put it at the end of the 50s because it looks like, wow, there's a lot of 50 cards. We're going to put that at the end so we don't see that one again for a while. We're going to put Fregonia in our satchel. Luckily, our satchel is very large because we have that thing stacked right now. And I am extremely glad that I used that card because we're going to get hopefully a lot of food here. We're now going to use the bolas to actually hunt for some food here, which we really need. I get to draw one less card, so I really only have to draw one card. And it says if one character involved is bloody, I'm tired, so I'm not bloody, so we don't have to worry about that. I do have to draw one card. We got half of a star. But let's count up how many stars we do have. Because we have 1, 2, 3. There's 2 7s on there. We have 4. And we have 5 with this. Because even if those counted, that would still only be 7. And you may discard this card on the result step of an action. Yep, we're going to discard that card for 7. Or for 5. Because we have 3, 4, 5. That's going to take us up to the 2 030 cards to get some food. So our bolas are going to get destroyed. The rope that we actually drew, we're going to take into our hand. We're going to draw 2 030 cards and hopefully get a little bit of food here. We have 2 stone-eating crabs. So we get to take 1 001 card. So the first stone-eating crab tells us, you spot a kind of small gray and red crab with short, flat pincers that do not really look like a threat. Take 1 001 card. So we will take 1 001 card. That one is meat crustacean. And this is going to go here. And then on the other one, we get to take 2 001 cards. Now this is where things get a little tricky because I really need all this food right now. But I don't think I can stack these and then get all of... Well, if I do stack them... Let me pull these. Let me pull 2 more out, and let me read these cards real quick. I believe I can stack these, and I may be wrong about this. So if I'm wrong about this, make sure you have your Klingon channel turned on the YouTube channel, and I will put the notes in there. But I believe since these all have the same name, I can stack these, and it would add, and this would basically be 3. Because these are all items. And items with the same name stack, and then they go like this. So I basically have 3 uses of this for this food, and it should only take up 1 spot because my cards can go, my item cards can go 4 deep. So I'm pretty sure I'm doing that correctly. So these cards are going to go over here to the past. Reveal them if at least 1 character is bloody. You must discard 1 of these cards. Choose 1 of the remaining cards, which represents the result. Oh, I only get to choose 1. Discard 1 of these cards without the keyword predator. Choose 1 of the remaining cards, which represents the result of your hunt. Return the other cards, and then we go to gold. So actually I only have 2. So I don't have 3. Damn. Well, I'm glad I read that a little bit closer. But I'm pretty sure I'm still doing this correct. We're going to put 1 of these 001 cards back. And I'm probably going to do those almost immediately. But we do need to take 158... and go to gold. So let's get 158 gold. I see a gold card right here. There's 155, 156, 157. There's 158 gold. What happens after we deplete our food source there? There were few signs of animal life in the surrounding area. And what little there were seemed to have been alerted by your presence. You are no longer hopeful of trapping anything here. Take a moment. You decide to ponder your options. Where to now? Immediately after this is revealed, you may discard 2 cards from your hand in order to choose 1 card from the discard pile and add it to your hand. We're not going to do that. But this card's going to go... Return the other cards. This one is just going to go over here to the past. So that card's going to go over there. All right. So we have quite a bit that we've explored here. We finally got some food, which is good. But before we do food, we need fire. The torch. We need... It's going to cost us 4 cards, which is a hell of a lot, because I don't have anything to lower it, and we're going to need to get rid of one of our items. Well, we can add it to something. What would I add it to? I guess I could add it to the life jacket after crafting it, rather than get rid of it. I should have added the life jacket to the raft when I actually got that card. That probably would have been the better thing to do, but I had not thought about that. I don't have anything else that's going to allow me to craft fire cheaper. And we have bamboo on this, which doesn't allow me to lower the cost of fire, of making fire. All right, before we do this, let's actually explore up here. It's not going to cost us anything, so let's see what happens here. Lunch. A plump seagull is hopping around just a few yards from you. If you are a vegetarian, just ignore it. We could do another hunt action for another 001 card. Our problem is we need to probably do our food first before we do this. So I think before we do anything else, let's go ahead and actually eat the 2 food that we have. Well, I wanted to do the fire first. We need the fire to basically get 12 cards back instead of 6. So we're going to have to do the fire first. That's why we were doing the fire. So we're going to have to just throw the fire under... maybe we'll throw the fire under the shovel. I mean, it really doesn't fit under anything, but we're just going to do that. It's going to cost us 4 cards to do the fire, which is really going to deplete us. But we have no way of lowering it. And the trouble is it's no stars. 1, 2, 3. There's a curse. 4. All right, there's a bow. Is the bow better than the blowpipe? I think the bow is better than the blowpipe. It's going to cost 1 more card to build. The blowpipe would actually cost nothing to build, have 3 uses, and give us stars. But the bow is going to give us a star and -2 from skill cards, which would save us on actually getting more food here. So do I take the blowpipe, or... Well, the bow also has more uses to it. I think we're going to keep the bow. It's just going to cost us more to craft it, which kind of stinks. I think we're going to keep the bow in this case. All right. We're going to keep the bow in this case. The rest of these are going to get discarded. And our torch is going to go under our shovel. And it's just basically going to have 3 uses. Because we're not going to get to increase the uses since their keywords don't match. All right, so now the next thing we're going to do is we've just... We have the fire resource now with the torch. I don't think we need to have the fire out. I think the torch gives us that. So we're going to have to lower this by 2, or lower this by 1. This is going to go down to 2. And then we're going to use up one of the food. So when I use up 1, I get to do both cards. And since they were the same, that gave me 2. So am I going to get to put this many cards back in my deck? Let me look this up real quick in the rules when you're stacking items like this. I want to make sure I'm going to do this right. Because I haven't done stacking of items too much. Spending a hitting number. Using an item. Combining an item. When an item is combined, the player may combine it with an existing item in their inventory in order to form one single item. The newly combined item is placed at the bottom of the column card in its last position. If the newly combined item card shares at least one keyword when the item card the die is reset is resting on, its durability value is added to that of that die. So Bruno has a walking stick in his inventory. He decides to craft a bow. He may put either a 4 on the bow card to create a new item, or combine the walking stick and the bow into a bow card with a walking stick. Card increases by as many. This gives a total of 8, which is brought down to 6. Relinquish an item using an item. The player may use an item in their inventory by lowering its durability to either apply some or all of the item's effects when they are involved in an action. Using an item enables the player to freely choose to apply some or all of the effects of one or more item cards it consists of. So the way I'm reading that is these two cards have two uses. Since I have the fire over here, which I'm going to lower by 1 to use the fire action, fire resource, I should be able to get to put 2 cards, basically 24 cards back into my deck, is the way I'm reading this, by using up all this food. And I think that's how we're going to play it. And if I'm wrong, oh well, but I'm going to have the game last a little bit longer than it might. So this way we enjoy it more. It could be a house rule, we'll say. We're going to shuffle these up. And for one use of the meat, I get to activate both cards. I'm going to do the eat action. And since I have activated my fire, it says 6 cards if you have the fire resource. So each card's going to give me 12. And then I'm going to get to do that again, is the way we're playing this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are going to shuffle back into the action deck. And then we're going to eat again, because we're going to clear out this space. Well, actually, I wonder if I should hunt first and add another card to there and just make it even more. Let's not push it, though. So I'm going to spend another action and take my shovel down to 1 to get my fire resource. Eat again. That's going to use up these 2, that 2 food, and give us 12 more cards. So that about gives us most of our cards back. Not too sure if I did that 100% correct, but per the rules, that's pretty much what the hell it sounded like. So again, make sure your Klingon the subtitles are on, in case if I did make a goof here. We may get to play this adventure a little longer than we should be from the decision I just made. But considering this is maybe the 3rd time I've tried this, I'm not really too worried about it. I'd rather see more of the game right now than keep replaying through the same part of the map over and over again. So sometimes you just make house calls and you just go with it. So the next thing we need to do is craft our bow with all the cards that we just did. We don't have any, we have the bamboo resource here. There's really no tiles with wood or anything on it, so there's really no reason to move. So to craft the bow, it's going to cost us 3 cards. And I don't have any way to lower that. But we do have another fire one here, but I think we're going to take the Valiant Hearts again, because that card is just too nice. We have one more fire resource that we have over there with our torch, so I think that's going to be a better way to do that. So I think right now what we're going to do is, that was just crafting of the bow, those cards. So we're going to put our bow into play, and in our item we have 4 cards in our hand, and we have our items crafted here, and we're going to do a hunt now. And the hunt is not going to cost us anything. We have 1 star. I have 2 stars over here, so we're only going to draw -2. We're going to draw 1 card just to see if we get an extra star. If not, we'll use our Valiant Hearts and just do that. We got 3 stars, which we're going to keep this card because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards in our hand. That is our 5th card. Our bow had 4 uses on it, and now has 3. And we are going to see what the success of this card is. The Seagull that we just went for, we get an 001 card again, and then we banish that. So we're going to get a little more food, it seems. So we get... So now we have to possibly discard an item. And I wonder if we should just get rid of the shovel and the fire, since it basically has one use left. I'm thinking that may be the proper thing to do here. We're going to get rid of the shovel and the torch. They did have one use left, but I'd rather have the food for the cards right now. But then we lose our fire. Then we lose our fire. Hang on. Hang on. Let's not do that. That was a little hasty decision. I think we're going to get rid of the life jacket. I think the life jacket is going to be gone. We're going to leave one left on the food for our fire action. This is going to go into the past. We're going to take our food here for one more. We're going to use our food, our fire resource. Now our fire and shovel are gone, which is going to free that up. We are then going to get 6 more cards out of here. That was a good find of food, because we basically just completely restocked our deck there the way we did that. Hopefully that was correct. I'm going to have to check the forums on that one, because I'm not 100% certain on that. But since we did use the fire, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the fire resource, that was 6 more cards that we are shuffling back into our deck. And our deck is now about 3/4 of the way full, which is exactly how I want this to be. And then this gets returned. And then out comes card 312. What do we get with 312? You have reached the northern end of the archipelago. You seem to notice a strange colorful spot in the water, but you cannot really be sure from this distance. Oh, it looks all purple. That's interesting. Let's double check this card for numbers. I don't know if we've looked at some of those other cards for numbers. We see any odd numbers anywhere on these cards? No. And do we see anything that looks a little bit similar to... Oh, there's a stone with 2 marks on it, and there's a stone with 2 marks there. That's interesting. So I think we want to go north off of this island from this map if I'm looking at this properly. I don't know if I am or not. Looks like there's penguins here, too. It's the first time I think I've seen penguins. Alright, so we have a couple of different actions that we can do. The first thing we're going to need to do is move here. Our lunch card is going into the past, because that one is done. So we only have 2 items left. We have our raft and our bow. We have a hand that looks pretty decent so far. We're still tired. I'm going to move that over so I don't forget about that. So we need to find a few more items that we can craft to see what we can come up with here. First thing we got to do is move. We don't have anything to decrease our movement costs, so it's going to cost us 2 cards to move. There's a club. I think the club might not be a bad thing to keep here, although we did just get the bow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have the rope. We have a rope. I could have crafted the rope, I guess, before I did this. Before I did the move. The rope would have cost me 3. And the rope actually gives you a fire resource, which actually probably would have been the smart thing to do. to clear a spot from my hand. But I guess it's too late because we already drew these for the movement. I don't think we're going to keep either of these. I mean, because with the bow, the club's going to cost us 3 and really doesn't give us much more. The bows actually looks a little better. We're going to just discard both of those and actually just do a move here. First thing I want to do is I want to check out maybe card 263, which is going to cost us a card. We're going to go ahead and do the search or examine action and actually look at card 263. It's going to cost us 1. Here's rudimentary flint. I could put a fire figure into play on your terrain card. That would actually be rather nice to actually have fire out here, but I can't build fire here because, again, there is the red cross symbol that says players may not take the following actions, which is make fire, craft, or rest on this tile. So no reason to keep that for right now. And card 263. $262. 263. A penguin lies motionless on a rock, bleeding from a wound in its breast. Oh no. Well, that doesn't sound good. The animal seems to be dying. Will you put it out of its misery or attempt to nurse it back to health? I don't know if I have anything to do the nurse action, basically to help out with health. So if I kill it, I get food. If I heal it, there's a 99 card. Oh, how do we want to play this? How do we want to play this? I'm trying to see if there's anything I have that might be able to help with. Yeah, I don't have anything that's going to help with the cure or heal action. And that's going to cost me 2 cards and require 3 stars, which I can do. I got the 3 stars in my hand. I'm not really worried about it. Either way, it looks like I'm going to... Well, if I use my bow, it's not going to cost me anything, because I could just use one use of my bow and it'll be dead and I'll get food. But I really want to see what the 99 card is, because I don't know if I remember drawing a 99 card before. You think a 99 card would be better, considering you're paying more for it. We're going to heal the little dude. We're actually going to be... We're not going to be mean here. We're actually going to heal the penguin and draw 2 cards. I'm going to use... I have Valiant Heart Shall Not Fail, so that's... And I have another card, Forewarned is Forearmed. So I have 3 stars right there. I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 cards, because it looks like you have to draw 2 cards. There's a lock symbol on there, so it's 2 or nothing. So we're going to draw both of these. We have 1 star on here, 2 that don't match, which kind of stink. And so we're going to have to use our Valiant Heart Shall Not Fail. You may discard this card during the result step of an action in order to apply the following effect to give 2 more stars. There's our 3 stars, and I take a 101 card. Let me grab a 101 card real quick before we do anything else, so we don't forget about that. I am tired. I do have a tired card in my hand, so this one actually replaces it. And I wish I would have taken the sleep action before. I think this one goes back in the box. Where is 101? Now, since this tired card actually has this symbol on there, this blue symbol right here, we need to actually discard some cards. The player must discard 1 card from the top of the action deck for each hand symbol they have. I had 1. This card doesn't count. I had 1 on him, so we're going to discard 1 card. And then that one's going to go there. I wonder if I should have discarded 2, because I did have that other tired card. I think you probably discard 2 which kind of stinks because I just got rid of a good HP Lovecraft card. And then this one replaces that other one. I believe it's how it's supposed to go. I'm not too sure on the timing of that. I'll have to look that up in the forums and hit that. So we healed the penguin. I'm going to keep this card here to learn by doing. These cards are going to get discarded. We healed the penguin, so we get to take a 99 card. Healed from its injury, the grateful penguin waddles away towards its flock. Oh, and this is going to go into my satchel, my journal and satchel. That's kind of cool. The penguins will be there to warm you up and comfort you when you need it. When penguins can be seen on your terrain card, you may return your freezing state and or take the following action. I can do a think action, a think or compose myself action. And then each character involved returns their frightened and or terrified states. So that's kind of cool. So the penguins are now my friends. So here are the penguins, and anytime I see penguins now on the board, on any of the tiles, they are cool with me. Thanks, Kimmy, for letting me know it still sounds good. So after this, the 263 card goes gold. So where's 263 gold? The waves intensify. You do not want to stay here too long. So that card is going to go right there, and we can't really do that action anymore. That card's going to go into the past. And I think now is when we are going to, since we did the search and examine icon over here, or yeah, the search and examine, we're actually going to go over here and do the spot or observe action, which is going to cost us a card. And that is just going to get discarded because 1, 2, 3, I have 5 cards in my hand, which we're good with. I don't want to craft the rope yet because that's going to cost too much. I can't craft at the actual tile we're on right now. So that costs us a card. We need 0 stars, and now we need card 438, it looks like. Well, we're getting to the back of the box here. I don't think I've been back this far in this main box here. 438. Oh. While wading around a large jagged rock covered in a fine layer of greenish moss, you notice a natural underwater pit about 6 feet in diameter. If there is a... Oh no. Tell me I discarded my life vest and that would have helped me out here. Oh. If there is a card under your satchel or journal card, you may apply the following effect. Instead of revealing this card, you may return it and replace it with the card. Do I have that card with that symbol, or where did I see that symbol before? Gear wheel. Oh crap, where did I see that symbol? Which of my cards had that symbol? I know something I had that on it. I don't think it was the life vest. I can't remember what had that purple symbol on there that's there. I'm going to take a quick glance through the discard pile. I know you can look through that. Oh, I don't remember what card had that. But I don't have it anymore, it seems. Penguins are our friends. Experience points. That. Seaweed. Oh, the Fregonia. Oh, that card's right over here. The card when I went swimming with the... Oh, that's where I use my vest at for swimming. But I could use the raft, I think, there when I go back. But that's on that other card. How the hell do you get that? Let me read this again real quick. All right, let's figure this out. If there is a purple symbol card under the Satchel Journal card, well, there isn't, because I didn't have that symbol. There must be another way to do that. You may apply the following effect. Instead of revealing this, you may return it, and in place of it, take the card whose number is equal to 438 plus that from the adventure deck. No, I have to reveal this card because I don't have that. So I wonder if that's going to give me this symbol to maybe go back here and actually try to maybe swim under the tower again to see if we can find anything, because last time we did that, we found Jack Squat. So let's flip this over. What do we got? Contrary to your first impression, the water is nice and clear, enabling you to clearly see a deep water diver swimming into the pit. Interesting. Only the active player may get involved in the following action. It's a swim action, and you need 1 star, and you take 404 card from it. So this actually goes over here. So what we're going to do is, rather than kind of put all the cards away right now, which you're supposed to do, which I kind of don't feel like doing right now, we're going to just shift everything over 1, just to make ourselves a little more room. Because I have a feeling this may not go any further to the east. So we are just moving our starting spot over from being from the middle of the board so everything fits on the board nicely. There we go. All nice. Okay. So we can take an action. We can take a swim action. We only need 1 star. I have Forewarned is Forearmed to give me a star. So we could always use that as... so I don't think we really need to spend a raft action here for this to be successful. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip over 1 card. If it fails, we will use Forewarned is Forearmed. We actually got a success, and it's a woven cord. I can put a fire into play. See, I'm wondering if I'm going to need the rope later on or not. I hate spending 3 cards right now to build the damn rope, because I really haven't seen it ever since that first tile. And having fire actually probably wouldn't be bad, but it would have been nice if I would have built fire back there, because that's where I'm going to be moving to. And the way fire works, if you're moving to the train with fire, and I'm not going to be moving back here probably at all, so I don't think I can justifiably take the woven cord. I think we're just going to go ahead and discard it. We got our 1 star that we needed. We were successful with that. So we're going to take a 404 card from the adventure deck if it's available, and it very well should be, because I don't think we've been here before. Let's make sure we take the 404 card. Your vision blurs slightly, and a memory from your childhood appears in your mind with remarkable clarity. You are chasing a butterfly in your grandparents' yard until you run out of breath and give up, doubled over with your hands and your knees and panting heavily. You are underwater running out of oxygen, and your wrist is stuck fast. So this is no time for reminiscing. The active player must perform the following action alone. It is a strength action. Do I have anything to assist with strength? Well, the rope would have helped with strength. So maybe that was really stupid of me to not make the rope, because now I'm going to have to draw a bunch of cards to get the stars I need. I guess that'll teach me for not making the rope. The rope will come in handy later on. And now I'm super bummed, because nothing else actually gives me the strength. And I'm going to need 3 stars. We have a star here with our Forewarned is Forearmed, because we haven't used it yet. So, for a strength action, how many cards do I want to do? I really don't want to drown here. I am kind of too far. But damn, I really don't want to draw 3 cards when I have that other one. I think we're going to draw 2 cards. We're going to risk it. We're going to draw 2 cards. And hopefully get... Oh, man. Do I have anything that's going to... I don't have anything that's going to help me here. Keyword Serenity. I have a card with the keyword Serenity. In order to apply the following effect, each revealed curse is worth 1. Alright, we're going to reveal 2 cards. But I may want to reveal 3. Because if there's only half a star on each of those and I only get 1 star, it could go south quick here. I have nothing else that's going to help me with strength. I would have to do 3 cards because I don't want to mess up here. There's a star. There's a half a star. There's a star. Well, am I glad I did that? I needed 3 stars, so you know what? I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I did take the 3 cards, because I'm going to have to discard my Forewarned is Forearmed, and that's going to give me the 3 stars, because I would have only had 2.5. So I am definitely glad I did that. I'm going to keep one of these. Snowshoes or the trap. I think we're going to take the snowshoes. We're going to discard these 3 cards. We pass the strength check. You manage to free your hand and swim back to the surface as fast as you can. Take a 103 card. So where's 103? There's a bunch of 100s, 101s, 102. Let's make sure we get the first 103. There's a 102, 103. I am frightened. There's no red X with the blue symbol on there. So I don't have to discard any cards, but I am frightened. And I think with the penguins, I think we can get rid of being frightened. Let's read our penguin card here real quick that we just received. Yes, I can do a calming action to actually return my frightened, which I think we're going to do once this is all done. So let's finish up our actions here and make sure we have everything into play that we need to. I took a 103 card. So can I do that action again? Is there like multiple 404 cards? Nope, there's only one 404 card. So that's going to go here. This was completed and it's going to go into the past. And I think right now, before we do anything else, what we're going to do is actually do a compose ourself action. We're going to do a think or compose and actually use the action that's on our penguin card here that we just received. It's going to cost us 1 card. We need a star. And it can only be 1 card. So hopefully we get a star here, because if not, I think the penguins are going to get mad at us. Oh, we drew a curse card, but we are playing H.P. Lovecraft here. So we need to find a card with the Serenity skill in it, which Dark Whispers is. I hate to do this because I really don't want to get rid of this card. Because then I'm pretty much going to not get rid of this Frightened, and getting rid of Frightened is definitely going to cost me some stuff. So we're going to have to discard this, because H.P. Lovecraft's one of his abilities is I can discard a card with the keyword Serenity on there, which I'm discarding Dark Whispers. And every curse card that's revealed is worth 1 star. So the curse, the Voracious Goddess, is worth a star because I discarded that card with the keyword Serenity on there. So we actually passed this. So each involved character returns the frightened and or terrified state to the box. So we're going to put that back in the box. 103. All right. I'm still tired, but not really worried about tired. We've gone through, again, about half the deck now, just from screwing around on these couple of things here, and I don't feel like we're getting anywhere. I think we kind of just need to sail off this place. There really isn't much here. We got that food originally down to the south part of the island here, and besides that, there really has been kind of crap on this place. I'm surprised that this this didn't lead to a little more over there, but I guess we didn't have that one card to match these flag symbols. I'm not too sure where we got those, maybe on the last previous part of the island. I think what we kind of need to do is move off of this. It's going to suck to move because this is 4 movement cost, and I don't have anything to lower movement. Not even the snowshoes would help me out with movement here because this isn't really snowy part. So we're going to have to spend 4 cards to really move, and we're going to move, I think, back to our first part here, and we're going to try to sail north, which is going to be incredibly difficult because that's going to be 7 stars. I mean, we have our raft, which is going to give us 2 stars and a 7, but still, that's a lot to get off of there. So I think that's pretty much our only options. I really don't think we have too much more to explore. I don't really want to waste much more time here, especially with the way our skill deck is looking right now. I can spend my learn by doing to save me movement here, and I might do that. Considering that's 4 movement, I'm going to draw 1 and keep the blowpipe and go ahead and move all the way back to over here. I'm not going to mess with sailing this way. We're going to go north because per the map on the Voracious Goddess, if I'm thinking I'm maybe in like this part here by maybe where this piece is with these 2 little dots on there, which is what kind of looked like was over here on the one part of the island. I think we need to go north. So we're going to do a sail action from here. Now, do we have anything else that might help us with sailing? No. I'm not really going to worry about my tired ability right now, but we need to draw 2+ cards and need 7 stars. We need to lower our raft by 1 and take it down to 2. The raft does have the blue flag on there, which matches that card, so we'll take card 194 if we're successful at this. The raft is giving us 2 stars and a 7. So we need 5 stars. I'm thinking we're going to take at least 4 cards to do this. And I'm hoping 4 cards might be enough. I'm wondering if we should take 5. 5 isn't going to leave us with much. 5 is making this awfully thin here. But maybe at the next part of the island, we can move to someplace that might get us a little more food. If there's any 7s on these cards, though, that will help out. We're going to go with 4. Let's see what we get. We have the 2 stars on here, so out of the 7, we need 5 stars on 2 cards. I don't have anything else with Serenity on it, so if I draw a curse card... How many curse cards are left here? 1. Whoa, okay. We only have 1 curse card in the discard pile. I'm glad I looked at this. I'm drawing another card. I'm actually thinking about drawing another 2 cards. Because that means in this little stack of cards, there are probably 5 curse cards here. So that is not good odds, considering there is only 1 curse in the discard pile. We're drawing at least 1 more card, and hopefully we can get our... Man, I might draw an extra card on top of that and actually draw 6 cards, because if one of them's a curse, we still need 5 stars, because that's only giving us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're drawing 6 cards. We're going for this one. There's a curse. We got a lot of half stars here. All right, let's see what we got. No sevens. I don't see any damn sevens. But I do see a couple of stars that we're piecing together. And am I going to be one short? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the raft. Somehow we did that. And I'm extremely glad I drew the 6 cards. With that one card being a curse and me not having a Serenity card to discard. So, I now need to figure out which of these I want to keep. His imaginary friend. Or do I keep a fire making kit? Well, the rope would actually give me the fire. But the fire making kit lets me put a fire figure into play, which I probably need to put down immediately when we get to the next part of the island. We're going to keep that. The rest of the cards are going to get discarded. And since we were successful with this, we are drawing card 189. Since we used the raft, we add 5 to it because the symbols match. So we're drawing card 194. Where's 194? That is at the end of this. Back here, 194. You have reached the open sea. If you choose to head north, apply the following effect. After traveling along the cliffs that border the shoreline, careful to avoid the current that might push you towards the reefs, you eventually easily berth in a little cove. Return all cards in play on the board and put card 198 into play, each player on it. If you choose to head south, apply the following effect. You leave the continent behind you until it is out of sight. After long hours at sea, you eventually make it out a small island and decide to head there. Return all cards in play on the board and put card 004 into play. Oh, man. See, I'm thinking we want to go north in this, but I'm really, really torn. Trying to look at this and see if I can make anything out on this map that might help me make a decision with which way to go. I keep thinking I want to head north here. So I think we're going to head north to card 198. And I hope this isn't wrong. So actually, we're to a point where we have to wipe the board again like we did last week. So we now have close to 4 hours into this, and somehow we're still alive. We have some decent items still. We still have our raft that we got very early in the game. I have a bow again, which I didn't have when we made it to the second day today. I have rope, blowpipe. I have a bunch of items that I can craft here. But my action deck is getting really low. We're going to go with card 198. So here we go. So it says to return all the cards on the board. So instead of returning all these cards, I'm going to pick these up real quick and just set them off to the side. I'm probably guessing we're not going to need any of these again tonight. I'd be very surprised if they have us repull some of these numbers. I mean, they might, but I don't think they would do that. I'm just going to set these over here to the side. We're going to grab card 198, which is towards the back here. You arrive at a stony stretch of ground running between the face of a glacier to the north and a cliff to the south. It gently slopes down to the edge of the ocean. All right, we're going to set that card in the middle. We need an 001 card. And these cards are going to get in my way. Let me put these cards right next to the past here. I'm going to leave them face down so I know what they are. They need to go back in the deck. I need a 1 card. And that's going to go right here. We do have... It almost looks like you need snowshoes for this, because I see the snowshoe icon on the movement track. So I wonder if that actually means you need the snowshoes. So I may need to craft my snowshoes here very quickly, which is going to cost me more resources that I really, really don't want to use. So we are right here. So I can do a spot or observe action here. I can do the investigate action. Or I can see this card over here. I think we're going to do the investigate action first, which isn't going to cost us anything. And it shows us card 127. Scanning the ocean, you shake your head. There is no land in sight. In fact, the only thing you can see moving in the water at all is a sea turtle, slowly meandering its way eastward. The water is cold and the sky to the north looks increasingly menacing. Swimming away looks less and less realistic. So that's going to go over here. Let's do our spot or observe action next, which is going to cost us a card. I don't have anything to lower that. It's a curse, so luckily we didn't need any stars there, but we get card 278. We are over on this side of the box. 277, 278. The water appears to be wadeable for about 50 yards from the shore. There are many fish. You are rather confident that you can catch some, and this could be where we obtain some food. Depending on the number of successes you obtain, take the corresponding number of 200 cards. Oh, before we were getting 103 cards. Now we're getting 200 cards. And that is an action we definitely need to take. And with a bow, it looks like we can do the fish action. Because I don't have anything else that will allow me to do that. So we're going to have to use the bow to do this. It's going to cost me 2 less cards. But I don't really think I want to do that. I think I want to draw as many cards as I can here. Because the more successes we get, maybe we get more cards, we get a little bit more food. And with our deck looking like the way it is, down to probably about 10 to 15 cards, I'm guessing, we need as much food as we can. So we're doing that action next. We're definitely using the fishing action. We're going to go down to 2 uses on our bow. Use the fishing action. We're going to draw 3 cards. We get to have a star as well as a 7-star with our bow. I can't draw more than 3 because of the lock that's on the fishing action. So hopefully we get some stars here. Oh man, I didn't get as many as I wanted to. All the stars are pointing in the wrong damn direction. Damn, that sucks. I have 3 half stars that are all left side of the stars. I have 1 7. So we have 1, 2, 3 with my 7, 4. We have 4. We're 1 away from getting more cards. Is there anything I can do to make that more? I didn't draw a curse. I don't have any of those. I don't have any other abilities. Oh, man. I think that's it. I think we're going to be stuck at 4. because the 7 star doesn't count for a star. It just lets you use the stars. I'm going to look that up real quick because I want to know if I was actually should be counting that, because I really haven't had too many cards with the 7 on them. So I am just going to look that up very, very quickly and make sure that we're doing that right. Any star and 7 icons in the left stripe. Each 7 icon on the item skill card is worth 1 success per 7 item obtained during this step. Okay, so yep, I'm doing that right. So it is only 4, which kind of stinks. I was hoping for that extra one. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 with the 7. Yeah, damn, we're 1 off. I have no other cards that add an extra one in anywhere. Nope, I can't pull another one out. So we're going to draw 2 200 cards. Blue fish, empty-handed. Oh, you get tired waiting for the fish. They're obviously aware that you are here. The blue fish, a small blue fish swims in the water. I get to take 2 002 cards. If you have at least one other blue fish card, you have found a shoal of fish. Take 2 additional 002 cards. Nope, my other card is empty-handed. I get to take 2 002 cards. Fish, mollusk. So since these are food and stamina, we're going to stack them, kind of like we did before, and put 2 there. Alright. So these cards are going to go into the past. This card gets turned into the 278 gold card. Depending on the number of successes you obtain the following number of 200 cards. Oh wow, 4 to 7 is 1. So I could actually try fishing again. But then I think that's the last time I could do that. That's going to go over there. We can keep one of these cards here. We need to make the snowshoes. So I need to make fire real quick as well. Because we need to make the fire to get more food. So do I want to keep any of these cards? I don't think I'm going to keep any of these cards. Because I kind of need what I have in my hand right now. The first thing I need to do is the fire making kit. That's going to cost me 2 cards to make this. I didn't use up all of my raft, did I? I thought my raft still had some uses to it. I don't know why I took the die off of that. I think when I used it, I pulled the die off and I don't think it was fully empty. So I'm going to put that back on there. Let's make fire. Fire making kit. We need 2 successes. We have stone on this icon and I don't see anything else. You know what? I didn't look for numbers on this card. Are there any actual numbers on this one? I pull this thing out. Nope, nothing in the snow. I saw 3 marks down here. That's what made me think there might be something there. So is there something with 3 marks over here? I think I'm up north here by this snow thing here. I mean, I think I might be close. If I can get some food here, we might be able to do this. Might be able to finish this curse. I don't know if we're going to finish it tonight. But we're going to come hopefully close to it. So let's make some fire. We need 2 successes. I don't have anything that is going to assist me in fire making. So we're going to need to spend 2 cards. Oh, there's a curse. No big deal, because we didn't need any successes. They're just the cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and keep the Learn by Doing card. And put our fire in our inventory. And let's now use the fire that we just created, which is going to cost us 2 cards. To put a fire figure into play on your terrain card, and then we discard this. So that gets discarded. 2 cards. There's all the curses were at the bottom of the deck somehow. I don't believe that. That was completely insane. We're going to put our fire there. Thank God we can actually have fire on that actual territory there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 cards. We're not going to keep the Remember card, but we are now going to cook. We're going to cook once, and since I have 2 cards here, we have the fire resource. We're going to take 10 cards. We're going to get 20 cards back here right now. And God, I hope I'm doing this right. I am 99% sure I am. But if anybody knows that I am doing this wrong, please let me know. What I'm doing is I'm stacking the food, since they are items, since they have the food stamina icon, and I'm basically adding their numbers together. So it's giving me multiple uses. So when I use it once, I'm using the cards, both cards, multiple times. Which, the way the rules read, it sounds like that's how you are supposed to do items when they are stacked. You can use any or all of the actions abilities on there, and since I'm doing the same actions from those cards and they were added together, we're using them basically twice, is what it's letting me do. You know what? It's letting me play the game a little longer, and it's really letting me enjoy it. So I guess that's all that counts. When you're playing a game, as long as you're enjoying it, that's what you want to do. So we're going to get 10 cards here. Because I will say, if I wasn't playing this way, I don't see of any way to actually finish any of these curses for as many times. I've played these. I've played this curse multiple times, but it's been many, many months since I've played it. And I don't see any way to finish a curse if you're not playing with the food in this way. Because it just seems impossible in the time frame that you're allotted. And we're going to use the fish again to do another 10, and then both of these are going to get returned to the box. Oh, well, there's a curse right there. That's kind of good that we didn't get that. So we just got 20 cards back. Again, make sure to have your Klingon subtitles on when if you're watching this on YouTube. Definitely turn them on, and if I figure out that I'm doing anything wrong, we will definitely try to put any corrections in there. Both of these 002s are going back into the box. I don't know how you're supposed to get to some of the gold cards when you're returning this food, unless if you have multiple people that are hoarding the food, and then you can maybe get to some of those gold cards. But as a solo player, getting to some of those gold cards seems literally almost impossible. I mean, it really, really does. So now I can fish again, but I need 4 stars for 1002 card now. Our bow gives us a star, and it's going to cost us 5 cards to do that. And we need 4 stars. I'm thinking let's fish one more time. I'm hoping I'm not making a bad decision here, because if I draw only one 002 card and it's nothing, I'm going to have wasted 5 cards, because I'm not going to use my Learn by Doing to lower it. Because if I can get another... Well, the fish were only giving me 5 cards. So since I don't... Unless if I get multiples, unless if I get up to 8 or 9 stars to get 2, I don't think it's worth it. Let's not fish. Let's not fish. We got half the deck back, it looks like. Let's carry on here and let's see what happens. All right, we're going to go over here and we're going to do a Pathfinder or Escape. We're going to flip this over and see what this one does. Sea Urchins. There are grounds covered by sea urchins. I've had this card before. Little reddish creatures. Each character involved in the following action. We need to do a skill check. So each character involved in the following action may discard any number of cards with the keyword skill from their hand and or inventory. For each card discarded this way, you get a star during the results step. So we need to draw 1 card. I wonder before we do that if we should craft our snowshoes. Because we're probably going to have to do a move action here. And it looks like to do a move action we're going to need our snowshoes. So we're going to need to draw 3 cards for that. I guess I could do... I guess I could use my Learn by Doing to basically craft the snowshoes for free. Which are going to have 4 uses on them. Alright, so we're going to do that. So those are crafted. So now we're going to do the balance. We need to draw at least 1 card and get 2 stars. Man, I really hate to get injured here. But I do have a skill card, the rope in my hand, that I can discard to get a star. Let's draw the 2 cards. Let's draw 2 cards. I said I was going to draw 2, and I drew 2 stars right there. We're going to keep the Valiant Hearts card. I got 3 stars there, which we only needed the 2. That would have been nice to know if that card would have been there. But since we successfully did this card, you make it through unharmed, discard this. So this card is going to go into the past. And we're going to pull out card 214. The frontal edge of a massive glacier slopes down from the north onto the carpet of a luxuriant forest. All right, and this is our first... Wait. 214. Is there a typo on this card? 198. 198. Because why does that say 3? I wonder if that was supposed to be a 3 instead of a 1. I'm going to make a note to look at card 198. I'm going to pull out the tablet real quick and check their errata and see if I can find that real quick. I wonder if that was supposed to be a 3 we were supposed to have instead of that 1. I didn't think I was going to make it this far this evening. So that's action card 198. It's in the base box and I don't see it here. I'm going to have to hit their forums and find out. That's really odd. So I guess what I'm questioning right now is on card 198 that we just did, we're doing this one. When I pull card 214, which it says to do, it shows a 3 instead of a 1, pointing back to 198. So I think there might be a typo there that they have on one of those cards. So this is going to go there. We're going to put ourselves back here, and we need a 3. I don't know if I've used the 3s yet. Let me make sure we have nothing but 3s here and give these a quick shuffle. So there's a 3. So we've completed everything on this. We're not sailing off this part of the island. We're actually going to do a move. We're going to use our snowshoes and take those down to 3. That actually lowers the cost of my movement by 2, which is going to be for free. So I'm going to move over here. There's really nothing to do on this card, actually, but we do need to look at this for numbers to see if there's anything here just by chance. Anything in the snow? No numbers in the rocks. I don't see anything here. So we're going to put that there. We're going to put H.P. Lovecraft there. Really, the only action I can do is maybe craft the rope. And with that being there, the rope would actually be crafted for free, which we're going to do. We're definitely going to do that. We're going to craft the rope. The rope will have 4 uses. Although I could put the rope with the raft and bump that up to 6, since they both have the keyword skill. That might not be a bad thing to do, because that'll leave me one open thing. Then we're going to do that. Let's put the raft and the rope together. I'm going to need to move my board down some next time I play this. And we're going to, since those have the same keyword there, we're going to bump that up to 6. Those will have 6 uses. And that will leave me one empty spot, but still give me the availability of all of those different actions that are on those cards. All right. Since there's really nothing else to do on this particular card, I mean, we have to do the Pathfind action here for this card. Oh, and it's a green card. It is a side quest. Still standing. At some point in the future, you know that you will have to draw on your reserves. What you do not know is whether you will be able to push yourself to the limit when the time comes. If you have more than 4 red hand cards in hand, take a 351 card and banish this. I don't. I only have 1, that tired card still, so since this is a green card, we'll set this over here. I still have no fetish cards. I have no idea what the fetish cards are supposed to be. I wonder if one of his cards is a fetish card. He has that one that's a friend card. That may be one, but those are both side quests. We're allowed to have 4 green cards in our satchel. Yep. I mean, we're allowed to have 4 green cards in our hand, 5 blue cards. We're down to 3 blue cards right now. 2 green cards. And our 3 items that we have. And our 1 red state card. Tired. We've been tired for a while. can't believe he hasn't passed out yet. But as to that point, we get to draw card 264. Card 264 is you arrive near the border of a forest where you can hear all manner of insect and animal sounds. All right, let's double check this card for numbers very quickly, since this is definitely a part of the island we have not been to anymore. And I really haven't even been cartographing, I haven't even been drawing this stuff down since we've gone to the new part of the island. I'm kind of just going with everything now. All right, I don't see any numbers jumping out at me, but we do need a couple more. We do need quite a few more cards. We need 3 more 3 cards. One, 2, and 3. All right. So we're going to have to do a movement. I don't think I have anything that's going to lower my movement because there's no more snowshoes on there. So it's going to take us 2 cards to move. One is examine notes, take 250 cards, which I might do. Because that really helped out before. So we're going to go ahead and move. So the examine the note cards is draw 1 card and get a star, and I get 250 cards, and I get to choose one of those to keep. And the last time that actually got me a good thing. So I think we're going to do that right now. I'm going to draw a card, hopefully get a star. I got a star. It's a shovel, which is very nice. We're definitely pulling that into our hand in case if we ever need to do that again. And we get 2 050 cards now. And we're going to get to keep 1. 1 is an untitled score. If you want to take the following action, you must use a card with the keyword music. I take 343 card from the adventure deck if available. The other one is Fortiflor. It looks like another sort of plant. And considering I'm on a part of the island where there is quite a bit of vegetation, this may be the card to take over the music. The page torn from a botanist's journal reads, Fortiflor sap has adhesive properties similar to those of birch, resin, and some industrial glues. Upon contact with the air, it coagulates rapidly, forming a strong and flammable paste. When this plant can be seen in a terrain card during the discard step, you may shuffle 1 card back in the action deck. So that is the card we're going to keep over the score. Because I have not seen anything with the keyword music on there. Oh, the panpipe, I guess, would. There's the one musical instrument, which I was wondering where that would actually come into play. All right. I think we're going to explore some of these cards right here, see where they take us, and then maybe possibly call this for an end and then go into maybe midweek we'll do another stream and go into part 3 of this if we still have some cards left after exploring some of these cards. So let's do the Pathfind Explore action on this card over here. These are all number 3s it looks like, and I have 3s out. I want to make sure we're correct there. New energy. You arrive at a small and tranquil clearing and decide to take a little break. Each character involved may shuffle any number of cards with the keyword stamina from their hand back into the action deck. For each card a character shuffled this way, they may randomly take 1 card from the discard pile and add it to their hand. If it is a curse card, it must be discarded. Keyword stamina. I have 1 card with keyword stamina, which is the shovel. It might not be a bad idea to do this. I'm not too sure I'm going to need the shovel. But it really seems like you need everything when you don't think you're going to need it is the problem. But this lets me shuffle this card back into here. I mean, so it gives me one extra card because I'm going to get to shuffle up the deck here and draw one card. So let's get some revived energy here. And just hope it's not a curse. And it wasn't a curse. It's the walking stick, which we are on, which we're going to build immediately. That was a perfect time to pull the freaking walking stick, because we are on a place where there is wood. Wood makes this free to build. And I think what we're actually going to do with this is put this walking stick in with the snowshoes and bump them up to a 6 and combine those and give them 6. And then this way we have 6 actions to either take with the walking stick or the snowshoes. I've never really combined cards like I have been tonight, and it definitely seems to be a good thing to do. We need card 22 now. The cranes support the submarine above the water by chains attached to either end. Each chain runs through... Is this the right card? Oh, 220, not 22. I was reading that upside down. I was going to say, I am nowhere near the part of the island. I've been to where the submarine is, and I was wondering what I did wrong there. That's what happens when you pull the wrong card. You get a different part of the island, which I've already visited in a previous journey. 220, a pool of water seems to have collected underneath one of the larger trees to the north. It might be a prime water source for local fauna. Wow. This part of the island is freaking insanely huge, because we need 2 more 3 cards. We need one here and one here. All right. This card is going to go into the past. And let's do the Pathfinder Explore action down to the south. See what we get here. Remains. You discover the bloody remains of several small creatures that might have been rabbits or monkeys. They were obviously killed by some predator. Don't remember this action before. The take or handle. I can do a take action for 0 cards. And banish this. All right. I think we're just going to do this action right now. We're going to take this and just banish it. Remains, bones. I don't have anything with the bones on there. Yeah. Let's take the 001 card. See if we get a little more food. Meat crustacean. So that's 1. So we can get 6 cards back if we make it back to the fire. This card goes banished. Goes behind the banish. That's only the 3rd card I think I've banished this game. And then card 191 needs to come out. You travel deeper into the tangled jungle amidst impressive trees and strange gigantic plants. The canopy blocks out most of the light, but your eyes gradually acclimate to the dimness. Eventually you are able to distinguish some of the birds resting in the trees and start seeing some little monkeys swinging from branch to branch, howling, and apparently taunting you. All right. Are there any numbers on any of these cards? I don't know, but this card looks like it has praying. This card does not look like it's a friendly card. With some of the plants that are on here, they look like they are going to eat you. From like Little Shop of Horrors. That does not look good. I don't see any numbers on this one. But we need another 3 card down there on the bottom. This part of the map definitely just got large. This is a part of the island we have never been to before. I never checked this card for numbers. I don't believe I did. Oh, maybe I did when I did pull this one out. Okay. Slide this one back in here. Let's do an explore action off to over here. Scratch. Blasted thorn bush. A long thorn has gashed the back of your hand. It may look like a harmless scratch, but these thorns might be poisonous, and infection is always a concern. Everything will be all right if I pass this. So we're going to draw 1 card. We need a star. I do have Valiant Heart Shall Not Fail, which might give me another tired action, which would kind of stink. Because I don't have anything else that's going to help me with health. Nope. Out of everything I have, I don't have anything that's going to help me with health. So we're going to draw a card, hope for a star. It's a curse. Do I have any Serenity cards in my hand? I don't. So we're going to have to use our Valiant Heart Shall Not Fail. Damn. And take a 1/1 card. You are feeling increasingly drowsy and are struggling to stay awake. You cannot wait for a safe place comfortable to rest. I am tired. Since I have 2 cards in my hand, that one doesn't have a blue symbol on it though. So we're good. We don't have to discard anything. This one's going to go back into the box since they are duplicates. And we will put it to the end of the 101s. All right. So we pass that. Everything will be all right. The active player takes a 100 card. It's all his fault. I know he's not doing his best. I can see it. I'm even wondering if he didn't do it on purpose. I really need to keep an eye on him. Ooh, I am paranoid. And I am going to lose 2 cards from the 3 red cards, or the 2 other red. I'm going to lose 2 cards from the 2 other red hands in my deck. So I got to flip over 2 cards and lose those. That was a hit to the gut there. That one kind of sucked. But this card's going to go into the past. And we are going to flip out card 271. Towards the east, the ground slopes gently and turns sandy. A few frail trees are the only vegetation there, and they greatly contrast with the colorful and luxuriant forest to the west. So this is just more of the island. And we would need... Oh, we need an 8 card? Holy crap. I guess we're going to have to shuffle the 8s. Is that an 8? Yes, that is an 8. 271, 271. Why does that show an 8 and that show an 8? All right, let's shuffle these up real quick because I don't think I've ever used the 8s. I want to check this card for numbers real quick. So we need 1 8 card on that. Just check this for numbers real quick. Looks like there's a grave here. All right, don't see any numbers. So this one's going to go back here. And this 8 is going to go over here. Man, I really want to see what's on that 8. But I think before we explore anymore, I think we're going to call this stream a night. I think the last thing we're going to do is to save the game. Before we save the game, we're going to move back to here. I'm going to use my snowshoes, one of my snowshoes, to do a move back. Or, well, the move back to the fire is free, actually. If you move to a terrain card where there is an explorer or a fire figure, oh, it's -1. So it's only going to cost me 1 card to move. So we'll spend that 1 card. And it's a wooden cord. We're going to take that in our hand. We're going to move back to here. And then when we're by the fire, we're actually going to do the meat and spend this to actually get 6 food back. So let's shuffle these up and get a few cards back. Oh, how did a 50 get in there? Oh, that 50... Oh. That 50 should have gone over there, not in that deck. Just wondering how a green card got in there. All right, so we get 6 cards back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Flip these there. There's a curse. That's always good. These will shuffle back into our action deck. So we still got about a good half of the action deck to go to explore this island the next time we start. And maybe the next time we start, I think when we reset this, the fish should be back here, and we're going to get the fish again. And we have our bow. We have a blowpipe that we can always create. So I think we're sitting pretty good. That should be it. Again, I'm going to try to maybe do another midweek stream this week. Last week I was on call, so I wasn't able to do that. But I think we now have a good probably a good 4.5 hours into this. We still have half of our deck left. We have a huge part of the island that we're on that I have never explored before. And the game's getting very exciting. Now, when I start this back up the next time, when we reset this, we will only have this initial card out once again that we're ending up. And I think I lose my fire. I'm going to have to look into that. But I'm pretty sure that I lose my fire as well. I don't think that stays around, which is kind of a bummer. That the fire wouldn't stay there. I mean, especially if you're resting. So I'm going to have to double check that one. But I'll get this video edited and uploaded. Again, if I made any goofs, make sure you've got the Klingon channel turned on YouTube to catch any rules goofs that I've made and errors. And we will try to put those in the subtitles. But check out the website, whatimplayingnow.com. And check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/whatimplayingnow. And we will be back midweek with another stream, and then hopefully next Saturday with a continuation of maybe a different curse, or maybe this one if we're still working on it. Who knows? I don't know how much more there is to actually explore on this part of the Voracious Goddess in the 7th continent. But thank you, everybody, for joining me. We'll catch you later.